George Santos back on Capitol Hill this morning after a whirlwind court appearance in federal court on Long Island, where he was charged with 13 counts of embezzlement. Nassau County DA said this.
This is a really important first step in holding him accountable for the unbelievable actions that he's taken.
I'm going to fight. I'm getting back to that. I'm going to fight my battle. I'm going to deliver. I'm going to fight the witch hunt. I'm going to take care of clearing my name, and I look forward to doing that. Now, hold on.
Okay, so the congressman isn't due back in court on this case until June 30th, and until then, he has since surrendered his passport, is restricted to where he can go. It can really just be Long Island and D.C., really. So joining us this morning to break down the charges he's facing and how this could play out in federal court is CUNY law professor Natalie Gomez-Velez. So good to see you, Natalie. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks,
so, Natalie, let's talk about this. One court appearance down, right? Several more to go. In the grand scheme of things, when we look at cases like this and the charges that he's facing, how long do cases like this generally take?
So you mentioned the next court appearance is in late June. This will go into a pretrial stage. He's pled not guilty. So there may be some motions, like there may be a motion to dismiss. But, looking at this indictment, this might go fairly quickly. According to standards, usually these cases take several months to a year to maybe more than a year. But when you look at this indictment, it seems like the federal prosecutors, they've got the goods on this. It cites, documentary evidence, texts, emails, references to witnesses, other documents. So it might move quickly. And, time is of the essence here, right? Because he's sitting in Congress, not on any committees, not really representing his constituents well or at all, and just there to sort of be that vote in a close vote in the House. But it could move relatively quickly, but it still will be several months.
Yeah, so then when you think about the job the defense has ahead of them, I mean, like you said, the feds, in your opinion, have the goods. They're working with the Nassau County District Attorney's Office. So you've got those two teams working together. So how much of a challenge do you think Santos's defense has then?
I think the defense is an uphill battle. I mean, first of all, you've got already on the record George Santos as a serial liar, right? We've got all of the things that he lied about to get into office. And then you look at the indictment and you're sort of mentioning Company One and texts and emails, specific documentary evidence, and it presents the charges in these buckets of charges that say, this is wire fraud. And so, and here's, what do I mean by wire fraud? He lied. In these emails and texts to constituents that he was, he wanted campaign money for one thing and then he used it for another. So it seems fairly straightforward. I mean,
let's actually zero in on those charges you're talking about, Natalie. So the 13 charges that Congressman Santos is facing now, right? Fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, making false statements. There they are on the screen. And then, like you said, there's buckets, right? So each of these categories carry multiple charges. So kind of explain how that all works.
Right. So usually they organize the charges according to what the statutory offenses are, right? So there's, if you look at the press release that the prosecutors set forth, they sort of tell you Santos allegedly embezzled contributions from supporters, fraudulently obtained unemployment benefits, and lied in disclosures to House of Representatives. But when you have the charges set out, they go by whatever the statutory offenses are. And so you have wire fraud, which is about lying to the constituents, right? Then you have the money laundering is about using the money for purposes other than what it was said for. You have the stealing public funds, which is just, he took unemployment benefits from the CARES Act that were meant for people who were struggling during the pandemic while he was employed. So you've got those charges, the series of charges under that, and then you've got the lying on the financial disclosure forms. Again, anybody that does work with the federal government, you don't lie on those financial disclosure forms because it's so easy to find out. Yeah.
Well, he pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. And let's listen to what he's had to say about accepting pandemic unemployment benefits.
My employment was changed during the time. I don't understand where the government's coming from. I'll present my defense. I have plenty of evidence that we will now be sharing with the government in this case to make sure that I can defend my innocence.
Now, you already spoke about how hard it's going to be for the defense. Do you think, though, I mean, he's got a lot to say in public. Do you think he should just kind of cut himself off and maybe not speak so openly with the media? He's not really helping himself, is he?
Well, it's hard to figure out what he's trying to do here, right? Because there's this shamelessness to the way he's been behaving from the beginning. And it's almost as if, he's so cavalier because he's interested almost in celebrity, whether it's famous or infamous.
Yeah, he mentioned a book deal already.
Say that again?
He mentioned a book deal yesterday. He said it makes it for a good book.
Right. So he seems to have some other motives behind this. It looks like he's trying to slow walk this, to remain, to see maybe he's making deals with, I don't know, the Republicans to have their votes. I mean, there was some discussion about him being the deciding vote on that default bill. He's got, but if you're representing him, the lawyers must be like, please stop talking. On the other hand, he's entitled to a defense. I mean, in our system, you're right. You have a presumption of innocence. You get to raise your defense. He's doing that.
Right.
Not wisely, maybe, but.
Yeah. All right, Natalie. Appreciate you.
Hard to tell what he's after.
Yes, to be continued for sure.
That's for sure.
I know. What a roller coaster we are on in the world of politics right now. Natalie Gomez-Velez, always good to talk to you. Thank you for being here.